If you've ever stepped off a plane in London and nearly been flattened crossing the road, you're not alone. The UK drives on the left. And so do about 70 other countries. But here's the thing, they are not doing it to confuse tourists. There's a reason. And it goes back further than you think, all the way to medieval sword fights, Roman roads, and one very stubborn island nation. So why does Britain drive on the left? Most of the world drives on the right. In fact, about 65% of the global population follows the right-hand rule. So what makes the UK different? The short answer, history. The long answer involves knights, horses, Napoleon, and a transportation revolution that changed everything. But before we get to cars, we need to go back centuries, because the story of left-side driving doesn't start with roads. It starts with swords. Medieval origins, swords and horses. Picture medieval England. You're traveling on horseback. Roads are narrow, muddy, and chaotic. And here's the thing, most people are right-hand. If you're right-hand, you wear your sword on your left hip. That way, you can draw it quickly with your right hand. Now imagine you're on a horse, riding toward someone you don't know. You'd naturally want to pass them on your left side, so your sword hand is between you and the potential threat. This wasn't just paranoia. Medieval roads were dangerous. Bandits, rival knights, strangers, you kept your weapon side ready. So over time, it became custom, keep to the left. That way, you can greet friends with your right hand or defend yourself if needed. It was practical. Instinctive. And it stuck. This left side preference wasn't unique to Britain. Throughout Europe, keeping to the left was the norm for centuries. The Roman connection. Now, some historians argue the tradition goes back even further, to the Romans. The Romans built thousands of miles of roads across their empire. And there's evidence they kept to the left as well. Why? Same reason. Roman soldiers carried their weapons on the left, shields on the right. Passing on the left made tactical sense. Britain was a Roman province for nearly 400 years. And while the Romans left, their roads didn't. Many modern British roads still follow ancient Roman routes. So it's possible this left side habit was literally paved into the landscape. But here's where it gets interesting, if left-side travel was so widespread in medieval Europe, why does most of Europe drive on the right today? The answer, Napoleon. The Great Switchover. In the late 1700s, something changed. The French Revolution happened, and with it came a man who reshaped Europe, Napoleon Bonaparte. Before the revolution, French aristocrats rode on the left. It was a status symbol. The peasants, meanwhile, kept to the right with their carts and livestock. When the revolution overthrew the old order, left-side driving became associated with the elite. So the new French Republic made right-side driving the law. It was symbolic, egalitarian, revolutionary. Then Napoleon conquered half of Europe. And everywhere his armies went, he imposed French rules, including driving on the right. Countries like Germany, Italy, Spain, Poland, all switched. Britain, of course, was never conquered by Napoleon. So they kept driving on the left. As did their colonies. Meanwhile, in America, the newly independent colonies wanted to distance themselves from British customs. So they adopted right-side driving as well, partly influenced by French support during the Revolutionary War. Fast forward to the 19th and early 20th centuries. Britain had an empire. The largest in history. And wherever the British went, they brought their roads, their laws, and their traffic rules. India. Australia. New Zealand. South Africa. Kenya. Malaysia. Hong Kong. Japan, yes, even Japan adopted left-side driving, influenced by British advisors in the 1800s. By the time cars arrived, the habit was already set. Britain standardized left-side driving in the early 20th century. The Highway Act of 1835 officially recommended it. And when cars became common, it was simply adopted as the rule. Today, about 35% of the world's countries drive on the left. Most of them are former British colonies or territories influenced by Britain. It's one of the most enduring legacies of the British Empire, a quirk of history that still shapes everyday life. So why hasn't Britain just switched to driving on the right like most of the world? Simple answer: it's too expensive and too disruptive. Sweden tried it in 1967. They called it Dagen H-Day. On September 3rd, at 4:50 a.m., all traffic stopped. Everyone switched sides. It cost millions and caused chaos. For Britain, the cost would be astronomical. Every road sign, every roundabout, every junction would need redesigning. Cars would need replacing. Driver habits would need retraining. And for what? The system works. It's safe. And it's part of British identity now. Besides, there's no real safety difference. Countries that drive on the left have similar accident rates to those that drive on the right. It's just a matter of what you're used to. So there you have it. Why Brits drive on the left: medieval sword fighters, Roman roads, a French revolutionary named Napoleon, and an empire that spread the habit worldwide. It's not about being different for the sake of it. It's about history, decisions made centuries ago that still echo today. Every time you look right before crossing a British street, you're part of a tradition that stretches back 1,000 years. And that's the thing about Britain. So much of what seems quirky or odd has a story behind it. You just have to know where to look. If you want more stories like this, the hidden history behind everyday British life, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.